Hi, it's Jamie with Jamie's Arts a la Cartes. Thank you very much for joining me. I have a fun project planned for us today. I hope this video inspires you to create something of your own. If you would, hit the like button and share the video with your friends. That helps me to grow this channel and to continue to bring you new projects. If you haven't subscribed yet, would you please consider subscribing? And if you have, thank you very much. Well, we have a lot to do, so let's get to it. All right, we're back. Everything is dry. Um, my husband went out to his barn and got me a bunch of scrap little wood. So I'm going to use it to shore up these pieces. Now, I will say that the paint did a really good job of tightening it up. But see, even that's a little still. So I'm going to spend this time here, like literally, okay. He had a lot of stuff, y'all. So what we'll do is we will, and then I'm going to paint it in a charcoal color or dark blue maybe. We'll see what we've got. I'm looking for all the pieces like this. And then he even brought me, look at that. Look how cute that is. It's a tiny little miter box. Oops. So like this, it has that glue all stuck on the end. We're going to see if we can't get rid of that glue end. So that's my goal. Okay, shoot, doggies. There we go. Now we just gotta clean our fingers up. Just gotta let it dry, and then we'll come back and see and make sure these things stay where they need to stay. Or do I need to cut a little piece of shim wood to put up in there. So we'll just have to figure that out once it dries, where I see where it will set. And then once we get it where we want it to be, then we can paint the underneath, let it dry, and then we can start working on the outside. So that will be a good thing. All right, drying time. Alrighty, I think that's gonna do it for the underside of our house. So how about, oh, I've even got a little bit of gray left. Smidge. Alright, we'll just let it dry, and then maybe we can attack the roof. Right, we're in a different room, but that's just because I had to kind of move stuff around through the storm. But what I want to do right now is I'm going to, I dug out what I want to use for wallpaper. But before I start putting all this up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint like the trim.
It's hard to see through them, you know, but so, you know what's interesting is that Ozzy also too YouTube live saying hashtag AJB and Eric, Joe the spaghettis, asking you shall receive.
Yep. So here you go. The black being the consensus models, but look how many models are south from Anna Maria Island southward. I would say there's probably maybe a few more models that are south. If you take the two outliers that are, you know, in central.
Get this turned so I can get the inside of this bay window over here. Being flat paint, I'll probably have to put another coat on there, but we'll just have to see. Cleaning out my brush. I think that's just about it. We'll let it dry, and we'll see where that takes us. Now I'm going to do a faux kind of finish on the stairs. We'll probably come in and either do the floors or the walls. Probably the walls because they'll be harder than the floors. So we'll go with the hardest one first. All right, we'll keep these two colors out. Those will go on the outside. This green and this brown, and probably the pink, and maybe some white. All right, after looking at my books, I kind of like that combination. All right, making progress. Okay, so we're back. Got the storm blaring outside, but we're going to work on our little dollhouse. So I created some faux pieces for our floor, and I'm going to show you how I did this. Probably will do the walls first. But the way I did this is, like the paper that comes in like your Amazon orders, typically there's going to be a perforated section. If you don't see one, you can just cut it off about how big you think you need it. And so you got a hunk of just plain old brown packing paper, all right? And then what I did is I crumpled it up, pulled it apart, crumpled it in a different way, all right, the other direction. Get it as tight as my hand can get it. And straighten it out. Alright. And that looks pretty good. But I kind of want it to look like this, right? So that when I put it on the floor, it's just going to have a nice little interesting look. Right? Texture. So I'm just going to do this probably a dozen times. Alright, so after all those times, then what I do is I pull it out and I'm going to halfway crunch it, and then I'm going to pour just a smidge of water on it, and then I'm going to work that water into all the paper, and then I'm just going to pull it out straight and let it, try not to get it on all my stuff here. And so then I'm going to like squeeze it, get it to go to all of it. Soak up my water I spilt here. I'm just going to keep working it until I get like all of it damp. And then I'm just going to, if I see a little piece right there, I'm going to just dip it in my water. And I can go ahead and even though it looks a little bit lighter than the other, it's pretty well dampened. Alright. Try to get moisture across all of it. And then I'm going to straighten it out. A little bit of water here. And I'm going to just crunch it up really tight. I'm going to pull it apart, and I'm going to do this half a dozen times or so. And then I'm going to spread it out, and I'm just going to let it dry. Probably like an overnight kind of dry. And then it gets bone dry. But you do that, and just let it lay out till it dries completely, and you'll end up with something like this. So with this, kind of losing the paper feel to where it feels almost like a cloth material, some kind of material. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to tear pieces, I'm going to glue it to my floor so that I have like a little patchwork area down here. I think it'll just add interest, right? And that's what I'm going to do on the floors. But what I want to do is I want to do the walls first in case I drip any glue, right? So what I want to do is remember what room got what paper, because everything is dry up here now. So here's that. That was the bedroom. This was definitely the kitchen. And so this is the living room. So the cool part is that what I did last time is I painted halfway up. Let's see, like halfway up. Not halfway, but where this paper would end. And I did it so that it would come across and look like wainscoting kind of look. And so I'm going to create a bunch of templates, and I'm going to piecemeal this together until I have this around here, right? So what I'm going to do is I am going to get some paper so that I can press it into the grooves and try to create a template, and then bring that to my board and create a template for my papers. Sounds like it's going to work in my head. Let's hope it does just that. All right, let me go get my paper and then we will get started. Slit. So that we can fold this in and cut along the frame on the other side. It's not really dry. I should wait. All right, got it started. Let's let it dry. That way it doesn't tear. Okay, let's do the floors. So all I'm going to do is tear off chunks of this, Mod Podge it down. That's it. Easy peasy, I think. Lemon squeezy. All right, so that's what our floor will look like when it's all dry. I missed a spot there, so I added. But when it dries, it has that cool texture on there. All right, so we have to let it dry, and then we can push it down. I see another spot. All right, we'll fix that. We'll go back in the daytime, in the daylight, bright light, and look for any places we need to add. Now what I want to do, my windows are dry, so I'm going to actually try my very level best to cut this stuff out. As I was cleaning out my she shed yesterday, I found these 3 pieces of wood that have a tiny little groove on them this will be our chair rail. How about that? I think it's going to be perfect. I'm going to paint it in this gold metallic. All right, there'll be just a little bit of it, so that'll make it kind of pop. All right, now it's time, while I'm waiting on everything to dry, I'm going to go ahead and touch up the ceiling. And I'm taking it from this outside color to a very, very pale pink. Alright, I got our skinny sticks painted last night. That's what I'm going to put up at the top, right? To finish off the top of all the walls. My husband had all these, ooh, it's called baseboards in a dollhouse, y'all. So, kind of got them laid out. I'm going to start by painting them all gold. And while they're drying, then I'm going to go ahead and get the top done, which means I'll lay the house down again. It's kind of hard for me to show you that when I do that, but I think it does its best to lay down. That way it's gravity's helping me to pull it tight. So let's go ahead and get these painted, and then we'll be flipping the dollhouse over so that we can go ahead and attach these pieces while we're waiting on these pieces to dry. All right, here we go. All right, squeeze one more on this plate. I can always, you know, if I need a little scooch more on that board, I can always paint the end if we need it. There we go. Let's fix that. All right, whole bunch of gold sticks there, y'all. All right, I'm going to move these to a safe zone, And then I'm going to turn the house over. My husband cleaned the tip so I can actually use this. Probably will on these small things still use my tiny tip there on my art glitter glue. Alright, we'll get this moved. I'll get our house laid down. I liked how I did the measuring at the end of these chair rails. Basically, I'm just taking scrap paper and doing it that way, because that way I can get into a corner and bend it. It's a whole lot easier than trying to get in there with the tape measure. So that's something I did learn doing the chair rails. All right, progress. All right, we are making progress. I have some more baseboards that I painted. So we need to do the back, both sides, and then the back here, and then the two sides. So and this side over here. Oh, and that side over there. It's always and. All right. We are super close to this part of the project. How fun is this? All right. I do like using the paper measuring idea. So I'm just using up scraps. Let's see. All right, that one's done. This one's done. But we do need the back. Well, here we are. We've made great progress. We've got the walls done, as well as the trim. So the walls, the ceiling, and the floors. And there we are. I'm going to let everything dry well, and then I will start working on painting the outside and the shingles next time. Shoo! What a project. Framed in that window over there, the bay window. I've taken the trim up to that arch because I want to do a floral around the top of the arch. All right. We've got just trim every kind of place. We've fauxed our stairs, wallpaper on the walls. There's that nice map back there. This will be the library. Over here will be the bedroom. Down here will be the kitchen. And then the living room. Whew. This little tool right here This little mini miter box came in handy. Alright, this is where we're going to end it, this video. I need to really just let everything sit and dry and cure, and then we can move on to the next step. I hope you've enjoyed this video and this little dollhouse remodel. If you have, like the video, share it with your friends, join me again as we go and do the next step. But until next time, we're just going to say happy crafting, and I have got a lot of cleanup to do. All right. Until next time, I'll do some close-up pictures so you can see it a little bit better. All right. Until next time.